All right, guys, let's do a video on what Biden said to Putin, or what Biden said to George Stephanopoulos, actually, about Putin during an ABC interview. And I just think it's worth noting that the interview with ABC was, without a doubt, stage managed and scripted. It was given by George Stephanopoulos, who is a Democrat operative posing as a journalist. He is part of the Clinton machine, and for his good work during the Clinton presidency, he was placed in as a journalist on ABC News. So this was without a doubt a completely controlled and scripted scenario, and all the questions that Stephanopoulos fed Biden were scripted and pre-rehearsed probably 1,000 times, because you are dealing with a Joe Biden that has no idea where the hell he is or what's going on. So I'm sure they had to make sure that Biden was able to answer coherently, or at least to present this tough guy image that he would actually be able to take on Vladimir Putin, which is a complete joke. There's no way that Biden could last 1 hour with Vladimir Putin in the same room at this moment in time. Not that a younger Joe Biden was ever capable of dealing with Vladimir Putin. Sorry, Putin is just levels above Biden in terms of stamina, diplomacy, and intellect. But nonetheless, you do have a U.S. President Biden, and Biden did say that Putin is a killer and he doesn't have a soul after U.S. intel assesses interference. Now, this U.S. intel thing, this document that this U.S. intel agency, which I think is just probably some made-up agency, and they were commissioned to put this intel together, I think this is just all about a couple of things. I think it's all about rehabilitating Biden and the Biden family, rehabilitating Biden's activity in Ukraine, and rehabilitating Hunter Biden. And I think it's also about branding anyone that dare mention Hunter Biden's activity in Ukraine, Hunter Biden's laptop, Joe Biden's corrupt activity in Ukraine during the Obama presidency, and bringing up that video where Biden wants the prosecutor, the Ukraine prosecutor, fired, and he threatens the president of Ukraine that he's going to withhold the U.S. aid money if he doesn't get that person fired. I think all of that stuff is now, if you mention it now, you'll just be branded a Kremlin puppet, a Putin puppet, a Russian troll, and so on and so forth. So if you're a media organization, if you're a journalist, if you're Tucker Carlson, if you're us, if it's you and you're talking with people, if you're out to dinner at the bar, if and when the restaurants and the bars open up, and you're talking with people and you mention Hunter and you mention all the stuff in Ukraine, I'm sure the woke SJW people around you are just going to say, "Oh my God, you're a Putin puppet. I can't believe you're just repeating Kremlin propaganda." That's the purpose of all of this. So this is all a rehabilitation exercise. And of course, it's also trying to make Scranton Joe look tough. Scranton Joe is supposed to look like he's a tough guy again, Corn Pop. Think of all of this as Corn Pop 2, right? So instead of Scranton Joe working as a lifeguard and taking on Corn Pop, and Corn Pop had the chains and sticks or whatever the hell he had, but tough Scranton Joe took him on. This is the same type of thing. So this is Corn Pop number 2, and just as much as Corn Pop was probably made up BS, this is without a doubt made up BS, and we all know it. Stephanopoulos knows it. You can see Stephanopoulos' face as he's doing the interview that he knows it. Biden probably doesn't know it. Biden may actually believe that all this happened, but it's all made up. All of this is complete fiction, completely fabricated. There is diplomatic fallout, though. You don't call the leader of another country a killer. This makes the United States look very bad. Joe Biden has completely degraded and completely tarnished the office of the president on a diplomatic level. This is... The U.S. is not going to be able to walk this back, at least dealing with Russia. And dealing with China, and dealing with other world powers. They're just going to look on. They're just going to look onto this and say, my God, the United States is just run by crazies. The United States is run by crazies. And they're also run by people who have no understanding of diplomacy, who have zero diplomatic skills. And, they're crass and crude and ideologically possessed. And I think leaders of other world countries are right when they make that assessment. That's what this comment has done, because you just do not call another leader, especially the leader of the Russian Federation, a killer. You just don't do it. This was a very, very bad move. So asked whether he believes Mr. Putin is a killer in a pre-taped interview that aired on Wednesday, the president responded, "I do. The price he's going to pay, you'll see shortly," Biden said. Mr. Biden recalled meeting Mr. Putin, during which he reportedly told him that, quote, "he doesn't have a soul. I wasn't being a wise guy. He looked back at me and said, 'We understand each other, Mr. Biden.'" This is BS. I'll put a link to this interview down below this article, which has the interview, so you guys can see that quote. It's complete BS, guys, because, you know, these meetings where Biden would go to represent the Obama White House, there is no way in hell that Biden had the authorization to make such comments or statements to the Russian president or any president of any country, for that matter. When Biden would make these trips representing the Obama White House to other countries, representing the United States and the Obama White House, and he would travel abroad and meet with other world leaders, there was no way in hell that he was authorized to make such comments. And if he didn't make such comments to a world leader, there would be hell to pay. This I'm sure of. But things have changed now, and we have a different America. Now we have an America which is being run by a guy that has no idea what the hell is going on, and by puppet masters who are hell-bent on embarrassing and ridiculing the office of the President of the United States, and they're doing a damn good job of it. So Scott Ritter says in a tweet, Biden does not know Putin well at all. If he did, he would know that the last thing that would give the Russian leader pause were the fanciful, tough guy posturing of a geriatric president. Exactly. Putin's probably looking on this and saying, the United States, these guys they're lost. They're completely lost. This is a country this is what I'm sure they're thinking, in China as well. I'm sure they're looking on at this. They're saying this is a country that is just in an absolute free fall with this guy at the helm. Boy, Biden is the wrong leader at the wrong time. My God, this is what a terrible, terrible mistake it was to get this guy in the White House. What a terrible mistake. It's going to have consequences decades on. So the Russian ambassador in Washington, Anatoly Antonov, has been invited to come to Moscow for consultations conducted with the aim of analyzing what should be done and where to go in the context of ties with the United States, the Russian Foreign Ministry said in a statement on Wednesday. The title is Russia Recalls its ambassador after Biden vows Putin will pay a price for meddling. So Russia is going to now start disengaging from dealing with the United States, and that's probably the prudent and smart thing to do. They've already decoupled completely from the Western system, and they're much better off for it. They're not going to have the rot, the decay of this new woke progressive ideology, woke SJW progressive ideology that is completely just sinking the fabric of Western society. The more that Russia can distance itself from it, the healthier they're going to be. RT has this title: Biden clearly doesn't want good relations with Russia. Kremlin declares after U.S. president backs Putin as a killer comment. Let's see. Speaking to journalists on Thursday, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said there was no precedent for the remarks in the history of the two nations. He's right. Quote, "These are very bad statements by the U.S. president," he added. "He clearly doesn't want to establish a relationship with our country, and we will proceed on that basis." So that is the comments from the Russian press spokesman. Putin responds to Biden's insinuation that he's a killer, says U.S. president is likely projecting, but I wish him good health. Once again, easy victory for Putin. Talk about an own goal, the United States scoring an own goal. Talk about handing an easy win to Russia, an easy diplomatic win. Here it is, and Putin capitalizes. Putin responds to Biden's insinuation that he's a killer, says U.S. president is likely projecting, true, and he says, I wish him good health. How many lives, how many countries has Biden ruined? So obviously the projecting part is easy. That's a slam dunk response. And of course, wishing him good health. Well, there you have it. That's a diplomatic win. Biden is not, you cannot send Biden to any type of G20 summit or international conference or any meeting with world leaders. You just can't do it. It's an absolute embarrassment It's an absolute embarrassment to have this guy as president of the United States. Speaking on Thursday, Putin suggested that Biden may be projected, noting that evaluating other countries is like looking in a mirror. When I was a kid, when we were arguing with each other in the playground, we used to say, whatever you say about others is what you are yourself, Putin added. Yep. Point a finger, 4 fingers are pointing back at you. Exactly. What a slam dunk win for the United States. Good job. Good job, Joe Biden. Good job, Biden White House. You ended up looking like complete idiots on the international stage. Complete, absolute idiots. Good job, George Stephanopoulos. You, like the good puppet that you are, you fed Biden the questions, and Biden answered those questions as he was instructed to answer. And once again, you've degraded and you've humiliated the United States. And Putin has now just poured salt in the wounds. A slam dunk response from Putin, an easy win. The U.S. got scored their own goal. And this was easy. Easy to predict this was going to happen. Putin is just levels ahead when it comes to diplomacy with a Joe Biden and with the incompetent White House staff that Biden has calling the shots. And Kamala isn't going to be any better. All right, guys. If it's a little noisy, there's some people doing work up top on the apartment on top of me, so I apologize for that. Anyway, that's the video, guys. Duran shop. Help out this channel. PayPal, Patreon, Subscribestar, Bitcoin, Litecoin, EMC, Hex. Help out this channel. I've been demonetized, remain demonetized, so your help is appreciated. Take care.